What's up, everybody? It is Friday. Just getting everybody on. Let's see if we got some issues. Looks like Facebook won't be here, but all good. It is definitely a good day to you guys. Happy Friday. We are back for what is the wrap up of the 21-day relocation reality check. If you guys are new here, it has been a very interesting 21 days for certain. Well, we're actually at 30 days in January, and tonight's conversation is definitely another important conversation. Every one of these conversations that we have had on this platform has been designed to take you, the person that is actually looking to move abroad, the one that said 2026, that is the year that I am going to leave the United States. But I've realized that so many of you are doing this and not realizing what it actually takes, how you need to go. And what I saw today was that 75% of Americans that leave the United States actually return. And those return numbers are not because they decided that they were wanting to go back to what it is that they gave up, but because they went there and it wasn't what they expected. They ran out of money. They had no friends, no community, no things that actually would keep them there outside of I'm out of America. And a lot of people don't realize how to not be in these 75%, how to not be in the people that are on the internet saying, I'm stuck at the immigration line and they won't let me in the country. I have to return home because I didn't figure my money situation out. I didn't know anybody, so I felt as isolated as I did in the United States, or even more so, because I jumped into a new time zone, a new community, a new culture, a new pace of life that I honestly wasn't ready for. And the reason that is because so many have not actually gone through the process and the steps and the personal inflection that it takes. These steps are designed to take them. Imagine so many people want to skip the process, skip the steps. So when you guys want to take the elevator to what it is your success is, you don't realize that regardless, when you get to the success rate, to that elevator portion, and you find yourself in a destination, but you don't know how you ended up there. You don't know what steps you should have taken, and you realize that once challenges arise, which they will arise, you think that leaving America is going to solve all your problems. You are in the wrong place for that. What is going to happen is more of who you really are is going to bubble up all the way to the top and start showing more. So when a lot of people look at, moving abroad and going and thinking that, hey, I'm a traveler, I go on vacation all the time. I know what it's like to be abroad and be in other countries and speak other languages. No, 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 you don't. When you guys look to travel and go on vacation, you know that you're going home. You've only packed the things that you need for the vacation. You had never been through the scenario of having to figure out what do you take of all that stuff and things and the things you've accumulated over these years. Most of you guys that have tuned into this are over 30. So over 30 plus years that you have accumulated all this stuff and these things, these trinkets, family heirlooms, my favorite TV, my favorite couch, this stuff. I see it all the time. And we talk tonight about, why scouting trips are important. I always tell you to inspect what you expect. And a scouting trip is one of the best ways to actually do that. Because when you do a scouting trip and a relocation trip, it is designed to give you what you would be doing when you are actually on ground, not vacation stuff. You want to come move to Medellin? Great. But let's not go to Community 13 and, do all the tourist stuff. Let's not go to Guatape. Let's not go to things that tourism is going to drive you to. Because you know what? As a person that's been in Medellin specifically for the last about say 3 years, I don't really get into a lot of the tourist things. Now, I'm a little different breed because I've done all of the tourist things, but I'm in travel. You are just a regular person looking to create a new life, yet you have these conceptions, which are complete misconceptions about what relocation actually is and how to be successful about it. The platforms, the influencers, the videos that you guys are consuming and going viral and making viral, these people aren't having these conversations with you. That's why it's called a reality check. Because despite what goes viral, despite the hundreds of thousands of views, comments, likes, shares, all of these things that happen on the internet, so many things are left for your interpretation. So tonight's conversation and the conversations had on this platform are designed to dig deeper than just something that is designed for virality. This isn't a sexy conversation. This is a truth conversation. It's a conversation designed regarding probability and the success of you being successful in relocation. So yes, we do have virtual, I mean, excuse me, not virtual, we do have on the ground relocation tours that you can go through with the people that it is that we have. We have here Medellin, we have Santa Marta, we have Cali, we have Cartagena. We also have other locations. We have Panama City, Panama, that covers all of Panama. We have Mexico, which includes Puerto Vallarta, which also includes Playa del Carmen. But there's other locations you may go to. So this conversation isn't just a plug for what it is that I could possibly help you with. That is beyond me. I don't know who's tuning in and where you're looking to go. Colombia, Mexico, Panama, South Africa also. Those places might not be on your radar. But this conversation regarding why a scouting trip, why a relocation trip is important is something that you can take anywhere in the world. Because one thing for certain, when I went to go move to Playa del Carmen for a couple of months, my folks were like, how did you do that? I said, what do you mean, how did I do that? I've already successfully moved out of the United States, knows what it takes, know what to look for, and enough to know what to look for to turn around and tell other people what to look for. So when I go to a new place, I know how to navigate on ground. I know what to look for, what questions to ask, different people, locals, expats. You guys, many of you are your first time out, so you have none of these skills. If you do it the right way the first time, is you once you learn how to ride a bike, you don't need to learn how to ride again. The terrain and the destination may change, but the foundational core things when looking into a place and seeing, is this somewhere I can actually live? Those things really don't change much. So tonight, you take your notes out, you take your pen, your pad, you take out your phone, you come back to this conversation and reference it. This is a reference conversation. This is a conversation that you may need to come back to again. And the reason being is because it is something that you're going to say, damn, I missed that. I need to take that in. That's okay. What I tell you guys, and I mentioned a pen and a pad, and you say, yo, it's 2026. I haven't seen a piece of paper and a pen. The act of writing things down and not typing it in, not typing it in a computer, typing it into your phone, your tablet, but to take the thought process of, it's in my head, I'm going to transfer that to energy to my hand and to take that to a pen and to write it down. I am very old school when it comes to things that are going to stick. And what you're looking for is something that is going to stick. What are some of the places that experts are going to that is booming? We'll get into that for sure. Colombia, Mexico, Panama, Thailand, South Africa. These are all places that the top 5, 10 places from a location perspective. But the biggest thing is, never mind where the expats going, because that is no relevance to you. But for certain values, you first have to ask, what do you need before you ask, where's everybody going? You aren't everybody. You need to figure out, I'm in Medellin, Colombia. You need to figure out where you're going, what is important to you, because just because everybody's there doesn't mean that you're going to have a successful time, which is why we go and say, go on a scouting trip. So this scouting trip is ideally designed for these things, for you to see that is different than you being on vacation. When you're on vacation, you want to get a drink with a umbrella in it. I get people that say, "Oh, I want to move to an island. I want to go move to Curacao because I just love it. The water is beautiful. It's so awesome." And I'm like, "That's vacation. Curacao, one, is not a cheap place to live. or the islands in general are not cheap places to live. Never mind the island life. Everything's imported. The slow pace of it, and you come from a hustle culture, an environment where America is saying go 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 go. So every time that somebody says, "Oh, I want to go here and I want to go here," and I always tell them, "Go. Don't start all your stuff yet, but go." And don't go and do all the tourist stuff. Go and live the life that you say you want to live. What you will do on a Tuesday. Because I tell people they go and they have these relocation dreams and they got their tourist glasses on and it's like, oh my gosh, I just love the place. It's so amazing. When I go there, I feel like this. Yeah, you're there for 5 days, 4 nights, bro. You're there 6 days, 5 nights. You're there for 7 days. You don't have a lot of time to take off when you're on vacation. So think about that and wrap your head around this conversation. Because when you go on a relocation trip, you are now saying, okay, what would I be doing if I was living here? Oh yeah, the weekend's going to be here, but what is about a Monday? It's Friday in Medellin. It's definitely plenty of things to do, but what are you doing on a Monday or a Tuesday? Are there things for you to do? What is it that you want to do? So many people will say, what are the top expat destinations, but still haven't asked themselves what they want. You're giving up everything that you own. You're packing all of your stuff and everything that you've put together all of these years into 3 bags, maybe. I took 3 check bags, 50 pounds apiece. I got big ass shoes. I wear a size 12, so my shoes are big. I go 3 check bags and 1 carry-on and a book bag. Yet I was a person that had over 100 pairs of shoes. I had jackets and sweatshirts and clothes, and I had everything that it is that my little heart desired, and I still had nothing. And when they all came down to it, but when I looked at it, I said, okay, well, where do I want to go? And if anybody that knows me personally, RJ was known for going to Cartagena and bringing people to Cartagena groups. But I said, hold on, wait a minute. That place is little as hell in my eyes. It's also extremely hot. Would I be wanting to be there on a Tuesday? One of my favorite vacation places at the time. Would I want to be there on a regular day, just hanging out on a Tuesday where I can't go outside until it's 6 p.m. because it's just too damn hot? Don't think so. I had to pop the bubble of vacation expectation versus realistic expectation, what my life was going to be like. And you guys I was telling this conversation earlier. So many of us that have gone and have been left before the second coming of the Orange Man, all of that stuff, we weren't in the position that you are. So when I left because I was done. I was just done. I was just done dealing with it. I didn't want to do it anymore. My lease was coming up, and I was like, I'm not renewing this just to do this again. You know, the capitalism and materialism things that got into its peak, and it's like, I've gotten everything, and it's still, I just need to buy more stuff that will make me feel happier. Like, no, that's not it. So I was done. The world wasn't on fire. America wasn't on fire. Today, we saw journalists being arrested in America because of free speech journalism. That wasn't happening. That wasn't happening. So when I left, and so many people that have been gone for a while left, we weren't in a scenario where it felt like the house was on fire. We weren't in a scenario where we were in it like feeling like we're running out of America. We left America. We walked out of America. You guys are in a scenario where it's like, I tell people, and I said this to my boy just before we got on, I said, right now, where you are exactly right now, if your house just caught on fire, what would you do? You would get out. You would run immediately out of the door. Now, if it was what's something on the other side of the door, you wouldn't even know. You would just go straight to the first door with no thought process. Grab my kids, maybe grab my dog, my cat, and I got to get out because my life is in danger. This is where you guys are. So when I tell you about scouting tours, and it's like, you're like, I don't have the time for that. And it's like, you won't have the time to mess up the way you are about to mess up if you don't do it the right way. Now, I say that you guys may have to endure just a little bit more in order to increase the probability of you succeeding. So when you go on these scouting trips, no matter if it's somebody that you pay to go or you decide that you want to do it yourself, at least if you do it yourself, just do it the right way. Don't go there and say, what are the top things to do for tourism? Because that has nothing to do with you. Do intentful research so that way you're not doing everything on the fly. I hate that when people call me and say, well, you know, I do this, and then normally this is what I do on vacation, and this works. And it's like, no, this is relocation. This is not vacation. What works in vacation doesn't work in relocation. The intent that goes into a vacation and a fun planned weekend or a fun planned week is not the same intent that goes into, I don't know the language here, but I'm willing to go find out the language and learn how to go say, can I go to the bathroom in the language and learn how to work well with others in the community, because I am done with this life. You guys need to understand that the foundations of a relocation tour show you the neighborhoods. We talked yesterday about how do you even find a neighborhood, and so many of you guys are moving like Nas and Belly and saying, I'm going to Africa, I'm going to Colombia, I'm going to Mexico. And not realizing the states in Mexico are all different. The cities in Mexico all vary in value different things. People say Merida is a great place to raise kids. You know, there are a lot of Black Americans that have moved there with their families. Playa del Carmen, there are families that are down there. Mexico City may be another place, but it might not be family friendly. So the blanket of these, you're moving to Colombia, or you're moving to Mexico, doesn't work. Once you get into the city, you get down to the neighborhoods, and you're like, well, how do I know the neighborhoods? You go look in the top places, neighborhoods to live in Medellin. They're going to give you Poblado, they're going to give you Laureles, they're going to give you Sabaneta, they're going to give you Envigado. You say, cool, I want to go live in Poblado, I want to go live in Envigado. And you don't even realize that this city is so big that Envigado has its own little individual cities. I know. They said it was a third world country, so your brain just shrunk down all the way to that. But not realizing that in Medellin, Sabaneta is not Envigado, is not Poblado, is not Laureles. These places, even in Poblado, Miller de Oro is not Ciudad del Rio, is not Las Palmas. How do you know this? Yet your American thought process says, go sell all my stuff and just go figure it out when I get there. And then you realize that 75% of Americans that live in the United States are returning back home. That's almost as bad as the literacy rates in the United States. It's actually worse, but it's still over 50%. Half of the people that are going to go move abroad this year in 2026 are going to fail. Which side do you want to be on? So going on a relocation and a scouting trip is saying, okay, cool, let me go figure out these neighborhoods and figure out which ones I actually want to be in and do not want to be in. So many people. So I met a woman in the airport, and she was in Panama's airport with her family, and it was the funniest thing. It wasn't until our third flight together where her daughter said, are you guys following us? I said, no, I'm just going home. But that's when we started talking to the adults, and the adults were talking to us, and they were like, are you guys living in Medellin? I was like, yeah. They're like, yeah, it wasn't that family friendly. I said, where did you happen to go? Because you have kids that are 7, 9. And Medellin is a very family-friendly place. And you say, well, that's not what I heard. Well, I don't know what research you've done, but there's a bunch of family-friendly things to do all of the time. It's the city of eternal spring, so you never have to wait for it to get nice outside. It's always usually nice, unless it's raining, and that could be vary on where you are in the city. But a person that only went to Parque Lleras, where there's a bunch of passport bros and ladies selling stuff and clubs and nightlife. No, that's not good for kids. Families don't go there. When I ask people about what their experience in Medellin was, and they say, oh, it was terrible. It was I went here and here, and I said, well, yeah, those are the places that the people that live here, like, we're not going. It's the most expensive place in the world, in the city. It's the most tourist place, period. Never mind the nighttime and activities that go on down there. That's not my lifestyle. But you don't know that. You've marked off places that could be the perfect place for you because of what somebody else put out on the internet and went viral. Inspect what you expect. Look before you leave. Figure it out before you cut all of those ties, because one of the biggest things that I don't think a lot of people realize about this relocation is the moment that you have that aha moment. Because when you do finally go, you want to listen to me? Cool. You don't want to listen to me? No worries. But you're still going to go through this no matter what you do. When you go and you try to take all that shit that you have and put it into a couple of bags, Fit your family pictures and figuring out what little mementos that you can take with you in your new life. And you sit with the fact that you can't take it all. And you realize that you had a little more anchors keeping you in the United States than you originally thought. It's not just picking an apartment, picking a place, and all that stuff. No, no, no. You got to tell your friends and your family. You know, depending on what jobs you might have, you need to do that. I got people that are like, oh, I'm a grandparent, so you know, I'm hanging out with my kids all the time, my grandkids, whatever your hat is. But there's so many actual anchors that are keeping you, and the cutting of them is really difficult. You've spent your entire life digging in, creating a life, making a family, making a foundation, building a neighborhood and a community of people around you. Yet for some reason, you are at the position and the crossroads of saying, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. That's why we have this conversation. That's why we don't make sure that when you go get that visa and you go get that residency and you go purchase that property, you know what you're getting into. You're not just running out of a burning house looking for refuge anywhere that ain't hot. Because if you think it's hot when you are as comfortable as you are in the United States and been comfortable, it's going to be a hell of a whole lot hotter when you sold everything that you own, gave it all up, sold it, put it in the flea market, put it in the storage, whatever the case is, cut off your car, all of that stuff, and get to somewhere where now you've got these high ass expectations of what it's supposed to be for your life, yet it ain't even adding up. Did I make the right decision? Did I mess up? Was everybody right that I was crazy to leave? That is a position that you could be in without a scouting trip, knowing what the neighborhoods are like. Knowing that if you have a neighborhood preference, but you have kids and you have also a schooling preference on how they're raised, and those are in two different places, you've got to come to a realization, a middle ground, a realistic expectation of what you expect. But you can't do that from Chat GPT. You can't do that from your couch. You can't even do that from asking somebody, because I can tell you my perspective, but the person that is not me, you have certain nuances, ticks, things that make you you. How do you go about knowing that the place, the destination, where everybody's going, and then I tell you that works for you? How? You have to go. You have to spend time. I say, well, I don't got the time. Well, listen, man, if you don't have the time to spend even a 7-day relocation tour, even 7 specific days being in Temple, if you don't have that, then I'm the first person to tell you I do not need a customer. You can stay in the United States, because you will have a bad time. You and American, what happens with with America and Americans and technology is that you guys will have a bad time in places, and then you come home and you don't even have 100 followers and make a video about the bad stuff that happened to you abroad, and now it's a 10 million views on the video because the algorithm pushed it. You don't have to be that way. Never mind if you go home and tuck your tail and you realize, like, yeah, this wasn't for me, and nobody knows. You set out looking for success. Yet you tell me, y'all tell each other or say, I'm not going and doing no relocation tour. There are so many people that I run into that literally will think it that doing it their own in a scenario where they've never done anything like this. They have overworked, overwhelmed spirit on them, a lot of negative energy from all the life and everything that comes in the United States, and then think that they're going to become an immigration expert. That's why they're getting a visa in a place that they've never even stepped foot in. That's why they're allowing an influencer to say, hey, you can apply for your residency from here. You don't even need to come. Just apply for it. That way you have it. What do I need? What I need? What do I need? Something that has no value to me. Putting up paperwork and money and time and energy and effort into a place that has no value to me. Things are already expensive enough in the United States. Why would I spend thousands of dollars and then I get there and I'm like, I don't even like this place. I don't even like Oh, I've been to 5 cities in Mexico and I don't like any of them. Yet I have a residency here and I mean, I can go there, but I'm going to not be happy. You have a very short amount of life. They said that middle age used to be 50. It's now 38 years old. I'll be 39 in August, Lord willing. People ain't living as long and we got all the access to all of the things. You don't have a lot of time to get this all figured out. You get one life, you got one body, you got one journey, you got one opportunity. Yet you won't give yourself the opportunity to increase the probability of success because you think you got it all figured out. But you see the same things I do, right? You see the people that are on the internet with the viral videos that are saying this shit didn't work out. It wasn't what I expected. Well, what did you expect? I always ask the question, and people might get pissy with me, but I'm always like, okay, so you did it. It wasn't what you expected. So what did you do before you got there? Did you inspect what it is that you expected? Because how did you sell all of your stuff and you didn't even know for sure? When you go on a relocation tour, one of the other things that I saw that is really invaluable, because I heard somebody else say this out of their own mouth. They said, when I went on a relocation tour, I got all the foundational stuff. You know, we met with the immigration visa lawyer, so I could either put a name to a phase, you know, set up a consultation that was specific to me. I was able to meet with a healthcare person that was able to navigate both what it is that I had available in my destination as well as what I may still need to be covered in the United States. Didn't even realize I might still need coverage in the United States. That may have not been on my radar. Oh, I met with the person that could help me go to a bank in a different country with a different language and open up a bank account because I'm not fluent enough in Spanish to have that conversation, but there's somebody that's here for me. But the biggest thing, because the foundation and fundamental things, those are actually the easiest part of relocation. Once you get connected with one person like myself, multiple people like I have in my expert team, you realize that that part's easy. We got a solid lawyer. We got vetted relocation experts. We have neighborhood experts. We got healthcare experts that understand both United States healthcare as well as Colombian healthcare. That part is easy. The difficult part is the sustainability of once you get connected to those resources and then you get back to regular life, how do you stay? The woman said, the biggest thing I cooked from the relocation outside of the connections to the resources, I met a friend. I met some people that were from my city or were really nice people on the ground that actually live there. So now when I go back, I'm not starting from square one with just a lawyer's number and a neighborhood guy. I'm already in my place. What's the neighborhood guy going to do for me? But that Tuesday stuff, that, you know, let's go bowling, you know, let's go play cards, let's, you know, everybody, it's a Super Bowl, let's go watch the Super Bowl together. Oh, we heard, you know how many people I've met down here and I've gone on vacation with? Multiple. My homegirl met her, started the podcast, came to Medellin, went to San Andres. She came, daggone, my family reunion last year. Y'all killing me with that no new friend stuff. Open your mind. Open your mind and realize that what you're looking to leave, you can't take it with you. You can't take that spirit and that energy with you. And you go on a relocation tour and you get connected to the neighborhoods and you say, damn, I didn't even realize that I had to even think about this. Now that I'm seeing it, now I'm glad that I was able to see that. Oh, it's other parents down here. It's other women like me. It's other men like me. You know, these things are important to sustainability. Build the life that you want to live before you sell all of it at a higher risk to yourself. Not everywhere has a relocation tour opportunity. When you guys talking to your first times moving abroad, I tell you to take it easy on yourself. Give yourself some grace. First time you ever got the opportunity to take America's weight off of you and you don't know who you are with it off of you. Having a soft landing, a community that can help support you, both of locals as well as other expats that already did it, that can help you, hook you up, tell you that the emergency number might not be 911. Help you navigate. I've seen community actually save people's lives. I was talking to Tisha the other day. I know Tisha, she's out in Santa Marta. She's our Santa Marta relocation expert. And what she was saying, she's like, yo, we had somebody, you know, pass and I had to go help. Y'all just had a bunch of snow to be shoveled, and depending on who you are, you might not have got a phone call and to get some help with shoveling snow, let alone somebody passing, let alone somebody needing some help. So when I tell you guys, these relocation tours are going to be your lifeline to increased probability of success. Because you could right now say, I'm moving to Medellin, Colombia, and come on our relocation tour. I think we've got 5 this year. Next one is February 16th through the 22nd. We have one at the end of March, and then we've got some ones in the summer and the fall time. That way, some people that are looking for a summer break or whatever the case is can come. That's here. But these things are going to give you the ability to come and say, is this what I think it is? Because you could come on a relocation tour and say, yeah, the people was nice and the city was nice, but I don't like it. It might not be where I need to be at. Well, I know what I'm looking for, so now I can have a roadmap to figure out what it is that I need to look at and would go for. But a lot of you aren't giving yourselves the grace enough. You're saying, I don't have the time. It's hot. I got to run out. Imagine running back into a fire that you already know is going on, but it feels safer. That's what you risk, not giving yourself the probability of success, not taking the scouting trip, not going on these locations and saying, is this what it is that I think that it is? Even if you have to put it together, I would tell you to caution yourself with putting it together. Even still, I just told you, make sure you know the neighborhoods, make sure you're connected, healthcare, immigration lawyer. But if you aren't in a scenario where the community has reached out and there's no relocation opportunity for you, there's no scouting trip to have, that should be a pause right there. It's your first time out. You want no guidance. You just want to go figure it all out yourself. Okay, Indiana Jones. Because why? Why? There's so many places that have been traveled before. What's the coincidence that the community is actually supportive as you need it to be, yet nobody has said, let me put the work in to make certain that people don't come out here, get scammed, get robbed, get end up going back to a place that I know is hell. Nobody cared enough? These are the questions that most people won't ask because they haven't walked down the journey. When you go down the hall and then you walk back and tell somebody, you know what to be able, hey, bro, it's a pothole right here. While we on this journey, I'm not going to let you walk in the pothole. But you walking down the dark hallway and there's opportunities and people are saying, hey, let me at least show you. That way, you have a better success rate. Because you know why? I wasn't shown. I had to leg up because of travel and bringing people here to Colombia. I had hookups already on the ground that y'all just don't have. Without opportunities like this conversation, bringing the light to reality, bringing the check to reality, bringing it up in front of your face. We end in the year, the month of January. You guys said 2026 was going to be the year that I move abroad. Yet this conversation, and just go back, go to Mood Travel Abroad on YouTube. There you're going to see it's over 450 videos of me telling you the same exact thing over and over, covering different topics. These topics are going to be the things that you need, the reference points that you can go back to and say, I remember when I heard this and I didn't realize that it was going to be as influential until I actually started to go walk down that hallway. To that guy, the bald dude said, yo, I'm going to need a community to help sustain me. The foundational and fundamental resources, those are the easy things. But who am I going to be when I get an American privilege that I've always had and I've never had the ability to exercise it? Now I'm on the other side of other side of the TSA in an international space, and now I have an American privilege. Who are you? Who are you when you pray, get what you have prayed to get? Many don't know. Many don't even ever have the opportunity to get the real answer to that question. That's why I position it this way, because relocation, moving abroad, giving up America, giving up all the comforts of what you think is comfortable, and stepping into who you are, what you could be. That is the most important part of this journey, and a lot of people are taking this lightly. We, the people that have done this and done it successfully, know that that was the moment our life changed. It wasn't just booking a ticket. It was the moment I was walking down the street and I stopped in my tracks and said, hold a minute. I woke up and realized the only two weapons that America gave me, my grandparents were sharecroppers. They left the South to go to Philadelphia. They were part of that migration. The only two things that they gave me from America's standpoint, and I realized, I'm an educated man. I went to college. That was a feat in the journey that I accomplished. But the biggest two things, and this is regardless of education, was an American passport and the ability to make money in the U.S. So making U.S. dollars. These weapons are not given to you and utilized inside of America. Yet the moment you step out, now you have there $30,000 go so much further. Now that passport, I don't have to show up with any paperwork or book of papers because my visa just lets me in. I now have access to purchasing and power that I didn't have. You immediately, I see it all. I became the 1%, but who did you become? Never mind what they have decided was value from a dollar perspective, but who did you become? So this relocation journey allows you to explore that and figure out, is this something that I can do? Is it going to cost you money? Yes, you're going to need to book a ticket. If you want to go do freestyle, cool. But you finding vetted resources, all of the ones that you need, healthcare, vetted visa, and a solid realtor, I can't help you with that. Now, I can help you if you come through the resources that we have put together in our global community that allow you to say Mexico, Colombia, Panama, South Africa. RJ's got the hookup at least down there. Those would be good places for me to at least start, just to test getting America's weight off of me in a place where I know that somebody is going to be there and knows what it is that I'm going through and can actually hook it up for me. I'm stressed out enough. I don't need to lose $1,500 in the win, and then I need to now pay another couple $1,000s just to get the person that I could have started with from the first time. Let me go explore these neighborhoods and walk these streets and live this life that I said I want to live before I go sell everything that I own. Before I go show them an FBI background check, fingerprints, 3 months or 6 months of bank statements, getting apostille documents. These things don't have to be put in front. The biggest thing that you need to put in front of you is a mirror. Who am I? What is important to me? Am I ready for the journey that I'm saying that I want to take? It's a question for you. It's not for me. I'm already over here. I'm having a great time. But this is your year. You said it, not me. You said you was moving out in 2026. Do you feel like you have enough? Do you feel like you're ready? Do you feel like you may need some help? That is why we are here. We do our best. We're leading in out of January into February. February, if you guys are going to be here in Medellin, one, you guys come out here for our relocation tour. If you're already booked to be here in Medellin, the 16th to the 22nd, we will be having on ground Medellin Relocation Week. What that looks like is we have our relocation seminar. We've got military vets, parents coming in. We have immigration visa experts. We have healthcare experts helping you navigate both what's on ground here in Colombia, as well as what you may need to get in the United States, depending on what your scenario is. We are also going to be taking you on 3 different neighborhood tours. These things are going to show you great things from local banks, groceries, how to get money out of the ATM. We're also going to be taking you to co-working spaces, gyms, parks, normal life stuff. We're going to be taking you into apartments so you can see all of the different styles of apartments. Some have elevators, some have 24-hour security, some have only daytime security, some have in-house pools, some have beautiful views, some of them don't really have a view. What is it that you need? ChatGPT has no version of that for you. No, if you want to be on a hill or you don't want to be on a hill. You want to be walkable, you want to be out of the mix, you want to be in the mix. These things are all brought to you. We also bring you to the community. We got Mr. Lay, she's going to be doing a paint and sip night that is going to be held at Yamakita, February, I believe that is the 19th. We're going to be doing another Colombian cooking class so you guys can learn how to cook this food that is down here. Never mind, learn from TV's own Master Chef Diorlin. And we're going to be doing a volunteer day because one of the biggest things, no matter where you go, wherever your destination is, you need to realize that you asked to be there. So by asking to be there means that you want to be a part of that community. So we're going to be going to Community 13 in Medellin, Colombia. That is going to be February 21st, volunteering out here with another organization, Digital Nomads for Goods. We are really doing what it is that we tell you to do wherever it is that you are or looking to go. We are doing the things that when you come to Medellin, you'll be able to take part in. The things that are the difference between you going back home or you staying here in Colombia or staying abroad and finding whatever it is that your forever home is. It's not my job to tell you where to go. It's more so my job to prepare you how to go. I hope that January has been a bountiful start to your new year. I hope that this 21 days of relocation reality check actually gave something to you that you do not have in your relocation toolkit. I'm going to do my best to go out and enjoy myself, going out seeing a couple of friends tonight, because community is alive, but it's about you and who you are going to be the community that's going to sustain you when you go to this relocation destination that you have in your head. My best job is always to point you to the resources. There are a bunch of free resources on moodtravelabroad.com. I know he was updating the website soon today, so if it says it's coming soon or an hour beat, it'll be right back up. But normally, go there. You'll be able to download the free resources, moodtravelabroad.com. You'll also be able to get connected to our value-added resources, our individual consultations. We have immigration. We have general relocation. We have healthcare consultations. We have rental and property buying consultations. I don't handle everything. I just connect you to everybody you need to know. We also have our anytime relocation tours, so you can sign up for one of the group travel ones or book a time that works for you. Or if you guys aren't ready to come out here yet, here's what you can do. We have on-demand webinars. Our on-demand webinars, we have two different webinars. One is Colombia only. That's over 5.5 hours worth of relocation videos with all of our expert team. So they go through everything you need to know that is available for purchase, as well as our most recent relocation conference. We have experts from Colombia, Mexico, South Africa, Panama, as well as finance experts, student loan experts, parents that moved abroad with kids, how to start making money online with digital marketing and affiliate marketing. Literally, you can go to moodtravelabroad.com. It is the most comprehensive site that is on the internet when it comes to relocation. I'll stand on that. You can find one better, shoot it over to me. I want you guys to be successful in this relocation journey. My job is to help guide you to the resources, as well as have you looking into the mirror of who you are and who you should be coming before you come out here and enjoy yourself and start building a life that you should want to live. So appreciate you guys as always. Jump on my DMs, my comments, like week, what you may want to more hear about, what experts I need to bring on that you might want to hear about directly. Do not be shy. We keep our prices reasonable. That way you can afford to take advantage of them. There are actually abilities to pay Affirm, Klarna, PayPal. All of that is available. I don't want to keep it finances to be a barrier to you getting to the access and the resources you need. I just want to make certain that you guys can actually get the vetted resources in a way where everybody can keep doing their job. So thank you for spending a little bit of time with me on a Friday. As always, you are appreciated. Whatever you do, be safe, stay warm. My name is RJ. This is Mood Travel Abroad. Welcome. It is a new name to the channel. You guys probably looking for Black Expert Life Abroad. It's a new name to the channel, but it's the same real talk. February is going to be an amazing time, and 2026 is the year that you move abroad. You just found a place to make sure you guys do it the right way.